What's going on, guys? It's the Casual Reviewer. I am the fine line between critic and casual viewer. That's what I like to say. And I'm sorry, just from the start with the lighting, it's gonna be kind of crazy. It's kind of eerie and dark, but I kind of dig it for this video. It fits because I just came back from seeing Jigsaw, and wow. Look, this is the 37th installment of the Saw franchise, and I've not been a fan of the Saw franchise. I'm just not a fan of the torture porn, like just the movie completely relying on the traps and the kills. I haven't been big on that from the start. It always, to me, the story that is there is a story there, and it could be very interesting. The overwhelming amount of traps and kills and how much it relies on that always just made the story kind of drown to me. It just was drowned out in the background, and I didn't really like it, especially the last few movies. It just atrocious to me. But this movie, directed by the Spierig brothers, I think, Peter Michael Spierig, that might be how you say it. I could be butchering it. I looked up what their other movies they directed, and nothing really stood out to me, so I don't know, maybe I have to go check them out, because this movie was directed really well, I have to say. I went into it thinking it was crappy, so maybe just my low expectations made me really pleasantly surprised with this, when it was as good as I didn't think it could ever be. But I just didn't have many negatives for this movie. I just didn't. I was enjoying and entertained with this movie throughout the entire movie. So to start off with, what was good was just the acting was good. I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest acting. It's not like these are A-list actors right now, but you know, this is the type of movie where you just think like the casting director would just be like, can you, off the street, can you read and remember some lines, and you want to just come do this for a really low budget, but you'll be on the big screen? That it just didn't feel like that to me for this movie. To be more specific, there's this one character who he obviously comes off as the comedic character, and you see him in the trailer too. And I understand he spits like a joke after, you know, they get through the first step, and he has some relief, so he lets out a joke for the next time he sees Jigsaw start rolling out on his bike, and I get that. But then as it goes on, and as he's going through the traps, I mean, he's not funny anymore. He's just simply not funny anymore, and it's realistic. If all of these people were actually in the situation, they would act the way that they acted. Like, that sounds confusing how I worded it, but that's how I worded it, so deal with it. And it's simply how they would act. You would not be funny anymore. You wouldn't. As it went on, you just could not let out a joke. And it's very believable. Another good thing is just the directing and the editing. Really, the traps weren't crazy. I know the demographic is for the next big trap and torture these people, but they really gave a lot more story to this one. They focused a lot more with the story. I say about 50% on the killing, 50% on the story. And the killings weren't crazy, but it was simplistic, and it all meshed really well. And it made sense for if this was a real trap and situation, a real game, this is how it would be. And so I liked that part of it a lot. I really did. When it wasn't in the game and it went to the investigation, like, was it John Kramer who died 10 years ago? Is he back? Is it a copycat killer? Who are putting them in this game? Who's killing them? It was interesting, entertaining. I was intrigued the entire time. I was at the edge of my seat when they were in the game, and then I was just genuinely interested when they were investigating. I would just say the biggest thing I think everyone will have a problem with is the ending. This is a perfect example of a movie that would have just been much better if it didn't try to do some plot twist. It really didn't need it. If it would have just had, oh, that's the guy that's been killing them? Okay, cool, I know that's the guy. Now let's see this final trap, and let's see what happens from there with this final trap. That would have been perfect, amazing. But they try to do this plot that was pretty confusing. I'm gonna do an explanation tomorrow because a lot of people are gonna be wondering like what the hell just happened. And so I think an explanation would be very helpful. I mean, it didn't make the movie suck to me. It would have been much better without it. And then specifically the very first situation that they are in, there's like 3 choices for this one specific person to make, and they just have to choose one, and either she lives and they all live, or or she dies and they all die. So it's like you might as well just try one. I guess it's one of those things where it's a horror movie. You gotta at least let one trope happen, right? And it's a Saw movie at that. But guys, for my end rating, I have to say I would check this out at the theater. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. It's the perfect time. It's not too short. It's not too long. And it's just entertaining all the way through. I know I've said it like 5 or 6 times. I'm annoying myself right now. The horror for this year has been fantastic with Annabelle Creation, It. I would definitely consider Split also as a horror movie, kind of like more of a thriller, but they've all been great. It's all just been really good. So I hope you guys check this out. Again, if you're looking for some like the old Saws, you may not like this one as much. But if you didn't like the old Saws, you wanted more story like I did, I think you should check this one out, especially at the theater, because it definitely adds to it. You could watch it at home too. You could wait. It's fine either way. It's not something you have to see at the theater, but I think it definitely adds to the experience. But guys, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and if you want some more spoilers, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I don't know how big of a movie this is going to be or how interested y'all are in, spoilers for after the movie, or if you're those weird people that like spoilers before you go see it. I don't know. If you do, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and make a video for that. Wait for my video I'm going to make about the explanation for the ending, because I can see a lot of people being confused by it, and I got it, but it was kind of confusing. So I'll see you guys later. Stay sexy as always. I love you guys.